the last gathering on the dead-end road. Out past the last mailbox in Mott, the road to Bogg Cemetery never quite lost its fear. Dense woods pressed from both sides, wild dogwoods tangled overhead, twisting the dusk into strange shadows. At the end, where gravel gave way to soggy earth, forgotten lives lay still among tilted stones and moss. For years, locals whispered about the dead end, and the people who gathered when most slept. Mary Fuller knew the stories. She grew up hearing rumors that devil worshippers met beneath the old dogwood tree, that sacrifices were left in drawn circles, that odd symbols burned into wood could summon a curse. She dismissed such things as childish bravado, the way teens scared each other out of boredom, until the night her brother vanished. She'd returned home after a long decade away, untethered by a job she hated and a marriage that grew cold. The house was unchanged, dusty with time, but heavy with the weight of memory. On her fourth night, sifting through storage, she found her brother's childhood diary, a battered spiral, pages thick with stories. The last few entries struck her with unease, accounts of candlelit gatherings in bogs, secret messages exchanged near the dogwood, a buried box as proof it was not just legend. Her brother, Adam, had been declared dead after vanishing with no trace. Only a broken bicycle, a scrap of hoodie near the cemetery, and a series of dead-end leads remained. The final diary entry read, "If you ever need a sign, go to Bogg's. I left everything under the tree." Driven by restless grief and unsolved questions, Mary waited for midnight, then set out alone with Adam's diary, a flashlight, a flask, and no intention of returning without answers. The drive out of plain dealing felt longer than she remembered, the sky heavy, her thoughts circling blame and hope. She parked beyond the chain gate, heart beating fast. The woods closed in, alive with insects and soft creaks. As she crossed into the cemetery, every step felt both forbidden and inevitable. Scattered stones marked long-lost families, Boggs, Turner, unnamed children buried too soon. Most were unreadable, worn away by rain and neglect. At the center, the old dogwood stood, its bark scarred by strange symbols, stars, arrows, looping circles. A black mark circled the base, and within it lay a crude ring of stones. Mary remembered her brother's handwriting. "If you listen hard enough, the reason finds you." She spoke, almost a whisper, repeating old lines for courage. Suddenly, a cold snap in the air. Her flashlight dimmed, bouncing weakly as she moved closer. Rustling behind her. Maybe an animal. Maybe not. Through the mist, Mary glimpsed half-faded footprints winding away from the tree, unnervingly fresh. She knelt, digging bare-handed in the chill soil beneath the bark. The earth yielded quickly. A rusted tin box appeared, as the diary foretold. Inside, a folded photograph of Adam with 3 others, faces half obscured by candlelight, the dogwood looming behind them. A cracked glass fragment and a note. "Let go before it finds you. Then look for what remains." Panicked, Mary scanned the cemetery. Moonlight revealed flickers of movement, shadows passing between stones, silent but urgent. Her hands trembled as she tried to read meaning into every detail. She ducked behind the dogwood, phone ready to dial, but stopped. The words from Adam's diary came back. "If you flee, look east. If you're followed, listen for the chant." Holding her breath, she followed the line of old graves eastward, away from the open path. Past the overgrowth, a low fence marked the boundary. Someone, or something, had broken through, leaving a torn scarf, colored like Adam's from the old home photos. Beyond the fence, Mary discovered more: a half-burnt candle, a small, weathered cross, and a pile of stones arranged in a pattern matching the symbols burned into the tree. Mary's nerves frayed. Was this really the site of dark rituals, or simply the haunt for unstable teens and thrill-seekers? She remembered the faded legends. that every few years, mysterious symbols reappeared, that the land itself hid what had happened. As she tried to rationalize, a distant singing rose up, soft but insistent. A line of faint lights flickered through the trees. Mary crouched, unseen, as 5 figures crossed the edge of the cemetery, hoods drawn tight, moving in practiced silence. One placed a candle near the dogwood, tracing a symbol in the dirt. Another muttered something Mary couldn't catch. No formal ritual, just quiet gestures repeated as if rehearsed. She strained, phone camera shaky, capturing blurred faces. Suddenly, one figure turned, stared straight at her hiding place, and hissed 3 words she couldn't understand. Mary's instinct screamed, "Stay put, don't run." The group circled the tree, then dispersed as quickly as they came, candles left burning down to nubs, nothing overtly menacing but unmistakably real. When they were gone, Mary read the diary again. Every answer needs the right question. Leave something behind and watch. She placed the photograph from the box beside the burning candle, willing herself to offer closure. The air crackled. The flames grew for an instant, and then an almost human sigh wafted across the grass, chilling her to the marrow. She returned home shaken, convinced she'd seen something no one could explain away. Over the next weeks, she researched the cemetery's history. Missing teens, unsolved mysteries, families who vanished. Each event hinted at a story untold, pieces waiting to connect. She found Adam's 3 friends from the photograph. One had died by suicide, another left town, the third refused to speak about that night. Mary visited Boggs twice more, each time at different hours. Once, she found fresh candles and flower petals. Another time, a series of marked stones pointed toward the woods and a shallow grave, recently disturbed. She realized Bogg Cemetery was not just a backdrop for scary tales. Its silence hid true stories, rumors wrapped around loss, unresolved grief, and rituals neither good nor evil but searching for closure. In the reflection of her truck window, she sometimes thought she saw her brother's face, smiling, still waiting for her at the end of the dead-end road. Mary lingered in the shadow of the old dogwood, reluctant to leave. The air carried the scent of moss and old smoke, and the ticks of Adam's watch echoed louder in the deep silence. She replayed the clues in her mind, the photo, the cryptic note, Elaine's haunted voice, and the murmured rituals. As midnight approached, the cemetery seemed to breathe with its own life. Mist curled over the stones. Moonlight etched the woods in silver. Mary heard unmistakable footsteps crunching slowly behind her. She froze, knowing she was not alone. A figure broke from the shadows. Not a ghost, but a middle-aged man with hollow eyes and a faded scarf, the missing survivor from the old list Elaine had given her. He stopped at the edge of candlelight, words heavy with regret. "We thought it was a game. We left Adam behind, but nobody meant for this to happen. That night, we sealed something in these woods." Mary pressed for answers, but he only offered a trembling hand, placing Adam's watch in hers. "If you listen when the dogwoods bloom, you'll hear him. He can't leave, not while his story's untold." Suddenly, the wind rose and all the candles guttered out, plunging her into deep darkness. The air felt thick, and Mary swore she heard Adam's voice, soft, pleading, echo from the mist. "Let go, Mary. It's over." Then beneath her feet, the earth trembled slightly, and the tree's ancient branches creaked like whispered words. Before dawn, Mary replanted the old tin box and watched at the base of the dogwood. As she stood, a cold rush swept over her, and for an instant, she glimpsed a row of silent figures standing between the stones. Faces familiar, eyes hollow, holding up items from their past. When she blinked, only shadows remained. Back in town, Mary felt lighter, unburdened. Stories of Bogg Cemetery still circulated. But now, when the mist rolls in and the dogwood blooms, a chill lingers, and locals swear that sometimes you can hear the ticking of a lost watch and the faint words, "Not all secrets rest easy." No one in plain dealing walks that dead-end road after midnight. And long after the living forget, the woods remember, guarding every secret offered in candlelight. Long after the last gathering is gone,